Dave and Jay versus the world.
Nice.
Oh, my fault. I thought.
Fuck.
What is up, YT gang? It feels so good to be back. Welcome to another episode of DJVW. How are you feeling, big boy?
Well, I didn't realize you were going to wear those glasses today.
Oh, I'm going to wear them the entire time.
You're wearing mirrored glasses, and we literally have like a camera in our face.
Yeah. I want them to see the shine from the lights, all the studio lights, all the big deal shit.
That's exactly. You know, had you put those on prior to us starting this, I would have told you to take them off.
Absolutely not. Not happening. I have a whole. Let me tell you something about the drip. The drip that I put on for the people. Right? It's got to be a whole thing. It's got to be a whole.
You look like Bruce Lee, so
I feel like Bruce Lee.
I guess the
minus
people
all
wanted,
the skills.
Well, the people wanted Asians, and you gave it to them.
I'm here to give you Asian.
Considering you go so hard in the paint on them a couple episodes
actually
ago.
the Japanese.
Don't do it.
What was Bruce Lee? Was he Chinese? He was Chinese, right?
He was a Chinese.
He was a Chinaman. I don't think that's a
you
racial thing.
can't. No, it's pretty racist.
But
to call
look at
him
this.
a
Look at that.
Chinaman.
We got the chain. You inspired me with your big drip. I had to go out and get me some drip. Now we're both chained up.
Now we're both drippy.
Can you show the people, by the way, your Toon Squad jersey, which is the fucking coolest thing?
And this is for the people who are watching this on YouTube.
That's right, yes.
They get these little extra things that people listening are just going like, what the fuck are they doing?
I know,
there?
and I get it. The people that are listening, you guys got stuff to do, but you don't get to see all of this, bro. You don't get to see the number 23, this Toon Squad jersey.
And
who was that, Tristan?
That was my boy Tristan.
Beautiful Tristan.
He got me this for Christmas, and he got me a pair of Cleto Reyes 16-ounce lace-up Velcro boxing gloves.
Dope as shit.
Seriously, it's something that I've wanted for like a while, and I just never got around to getting them for some reason. And
the boy went out and got it done for you.
And he goes, Jay, don't get any gear. And I'm like, I'm thinking he's going to get me like a shirt or something.
Get you one of them Everlast strap-ups.
I got him like a really nice like mouth guard from like Damage Control mouth guard. Shout out to them. I got him a really nice like cool Joker.
And you thought it was real cool. You thought he was really going to love it.
I was like, oh, obviously this gift is going to blow whatever anybody's getting me out.
And I'm sure he did love it, by the way.
Boy, it sunk me like a fucking, like the game Battleship. It took me back. It was like, oh, nobody's ever got
you were
me
taken
something
aback.
This nice.
You were taken aback. Isn't that a weird thing? That's what Christmas presents do. It's like, it's always nice. I love getting shit. I love giving people shit, but something.
I love giving gifts.
It just sucks though when somebody. It's a weird kind of suck when somebody blows. Yeah, when somebody out gifts you. It is the weird suck.
That's why I set the bar pretty low. The gift that I got you was a more like
a sentimental one.
It's a sentimental.
You
gift.
know where
because
it is?
I pay for enough on the show.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true.
like, you know what? I'm not going to get him a $100 gift.
Do you know where my gift sits, by the way? Because I'm a narcissist.
On the mantle?
No,
above your bed?
The wall that you see when you open my front door. I want it to be the first thing. I don't want my son to greet me. I don't want my wife to greet me. I want the image of the calm before the storm that was the ass whooping I laid upon Alex. I want that to greet me.
The brawl in the fall.
The brawl in the fall, baby.
Dude, you'll remember that the rest of your life.
Oh, what a fucking good
And
time.
honestly, Alex won't remember anything that happened that night because of the concussions.
He's got CTE now.
Sure
does.
Know,
now that we're talking about this a little bit, I do want to take a moment to break away from all of the laughs and the hyperbolism. And I want to say
that's kind of it, sure.
Hyperbolism. And I want to say
hyperbolism.
I want to say that I'm it's the giving season. It's a season to be thankful.
Sure.
We just had Thanksgiving. We're rolling into Christmas.
Sure is.
I'm very thankful for you.
Get out of here.
I am very thankful for you. I was thinking about it the other day because I am a unique
You were
person.
thinking about me
I was thinking about
when I wasn't around.
When you weren't around, I had thoughts about you. All right? Now,
well,
I'm a very
that's a gift all in itself.
That is, but
that's
there's
sweetest
more.
Thing.
Right? Are you ready for this? This
I
is why.
Sure am. I love getting compliments.
Well, it's a weird kind of compliment because it's
compliment
really about
turkey,
me.
bro.
Well, what it
Based me.
is
Oh, okay. It's about you.
You
fucker.
compliment me. And that's why I'm thankful for you, because I'm a unique kind of cat, right? There's a character.
So without the J, there would be no D to the VW.
Absolutely
is what
not.
You're saying?
Oh, well, let me tell you. I've already done a solo show, my guy, and it didn't really do that well.
Well, that's because everything can't be a miracle, Dave.
That's true.
It's
Hey,
like
man.
it's like what is this? My mouth? I'm speaking
You
words
listened
out of
to
my mouth.
one episode.
Wait, no, and then you would go, I'm in a car. What is a car? I turn a key, it makes some kind of electrical shock. That micro explosions happen
No.
inside of a steel block. You're literally explaining what things are.
That is
That's,
not.
But
Is that what happened?
that's exactly
Is
what
that
happened.
what- it's hard to-
You were like, I got into a flight. What's a flight? I go in a can. I arrived in another state.
Unbelievable.
Yes,
I don't
that's
think
how-
I did that. I think that's a
Nope.
misrepresentation. I
Nope.
think you listened to
No, that was-
5 minutes of one episode
that was
that
the
wasn't the
entire
episode you and I did
fucking
together.
show.
But what I am trying to say is that I behave in a very particular way that a lot of people. Here's the deal, right? I like to position myself as the ass of jokes in order to make other people smile and laugh. I love making people smile and laugh. It
one
really
of my
brings a lot
favorite
of joy to
things.
me.
Yep.
There are
Being
two
ugly.
types of people.
Remember,
Well, actually,
being ugly and funny.
that's right.
I'd rather be.
funny and ugly than be handsome and unfunny.
That's true.
Now, there's 3 types of people when it comes to my personality. There's either people that have their own baggage, and since I position myself as the ass of a joke, they like to take advantage of it. And then it becomes not fun anymore, and they use it to boost their own ego, and that's kind of whack. And then there's a second type of person who gets it and has fun with it. And then there's a third type of person, Jay, and that's the category you fall into.
We're a little bit of both.
Well, you're none of the asshole one. Even though you can be an asshole, you're never an asshole in that way.
Oh, a couple of nights ago, they were explaining how I was a bully and everything like that.
Well,
my
that-
family ganged up on me.
Well, whatever.
And I was like, you know what you guys are doing is this is some bully shit.
And then you started hitting them.
I was like, I'm about to take you all out in combat.
Don't fucking bully the bully, baby.
Don't
all right?
do it. I'm gonna hurt you.
But you not only do you get it, but you compliment it. In other words, you get it so much that we make a show based off of it. You fucking play so well with it that we create a show every week out of it. And
Yeah.
that's very special because there's, like I said, the other 2 schools, either one pisses me off because they use it to fulfill their own weird ego and weird
Yeah.
fucking shortcomings.
Maybe even a possible sexual arousal.
Maybe
out
even
of it.
and there's nothing wrong with that. If you
Yeah.
get a sexual arousal out of it, you fall into the third category.
Let me ask you
You're
something.
playing well.
You once in a while,
Papa.
yeah, fucking jerk off at work.
Oh, jerk off at work?
Yeah.
If I jerked off at work, I'd get fired because they breathe
Really?
down. I cannot take a shit for more than a few minutes without coming out of without people knocking on the door and going,
Oh.
"Is everything okay in there?"
Oh man, when I worked at the textile
Just
place,
rubbing them out.
the bathroom was like my own personal masturbating chamber.
Beautiful. Shout out to all those.
Shout out to
work-
Future Textiles.
no, not to them. Shout out to all the people beating it off at work. I want to know if you beat off at work. I want to know. Slide to our DMs and let us know.
Send
just
us a
a
video.
yes or no.
Send us a video.
Maybe we'll make a poll about it. You know what was real
Pun
funny?
intended.
Is I posted that ass cheek photo, which your boy's got a set of cheeks on him, and this Bruce Lee outfit really does a number on emphasizing him. And I made the options. I said, did this post turn you gay? Yes or yes?
Of course.
Yes or yes? And a lot of people
And then
turned
Vince
out.
like watched it from Super Friends. He's already gay, and he was like, actually, it turned me straight because
Turned you straight.
I never want to fuck another dude ever
Vile.
because of that.
I would be. You know how heartbroken I'd be if I turned like I said, turned a number. I don't know that I turned
Gay
a
man
number of-
straight. I
I don't know that I turned a number of gals lesbian, but there has
Well, I
been.
tell you, there's actual factual like. I've killed women,
Well, no,
obviously,
no.
with my dick.
We understand the dim cock.
Dude,
we
I've
understand
murdered-
the legend of the dim cock.
I've murdered women with my penis.
Ended lives. Which
Yeah, two so far.
feels real bad laughing about
Two
that.
so far.
Condolences to their family. But I would be real bummed out if there was ever a gay dude out there who saw my cheeks and said, you know what? Not for me. Actually, this whole dude thing's just not for me. All predicated on
just
my cheeks.
Not into it. That or the tuck back picture you got.
It'd be a bummer because we go over it all the time. Your boys are a couple of narcissists, and if that happened to me, that would be a huge blow to my ego. It really would. I wouldn't handle that well.
Hey, Dave, what time do you got over there?
Oh,
What time you got over there, Dave?
closing in on 2:00.
Yeah,
closing in on
closing in on 2
still
o'clock.
early in the day. Sun's out. You know what I mean?
You know the thing about closing in on 2 o'clock
Sure,
is
what
that
about-
this is supposed to be done by then.
Oh.
Instead of just kicking off.
Oh, you mean to say
But-
typically we'd be ending the
but-
show by now?
But somebody drove all the fuck the way from Freehold
Yes, it did.
to here,
Yes, it did.
got out of the car,
Yes.
and I get a phone call. Hey, I'm in the parking lot. Oh, that's great. I'm all set up. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Thing about it is I have to drive back to get the camera. The same guy who forgot the camera
Sure.
About 35 minutes prior to him winding up in the parking lot camera list
Yes.
was taking photos on the camera of his family
Okay, geez.
talking about the drip.
Wow.
Like a family that drips together, slips together. Hey, I got one for you, Dave. A family that drips together doesn't forget the fucking camera.
Hey man, don't put this on my family,
back
right?
at
This is on me.
Freehold.
This is on me and myself alone. Now I did.
Goddamn family.
I did forget it. It's just it's one of those things. I was so there's a checklist you run through, right? Do I have the laptop? Do I have my family together?
Yeah.
Do I have my drip prepared for the audience?
Speaking of that, one time when we were younger, because our vacations, we went to Six Flags. That was our one vacation that we ever took.
Okay.
And we left Josh at Roy Rogers.
Wow.
Yep. 3 years old. We left him at Roy Rogers.
Fucking God. Who's we? You and Pops?
No, me and the entire family. So, you know,
Wow.
it was
okay, because I was going to say that's a short checklist.
Mom,
Jay,
Dad.
Pops, and Josh.
No, it's like my
We're
mom,
missing a
my
third
dad.
of the fucking
Yeah,
gang.
no, this is when we were a family unit, and we left Josh at Roy Rogers.
And what did Josh do?
He was screaming, saying, "Hey, don't forget about me." We saw him in like the rearview mirror. It's like,
Holy shit, that's a nightmare.
Forgot Josh.
You know what? I went through a little bit of a phase when I was younger where I kept getting lost at Caldors. And it happened like 3 times in a row where I would stop to look at the video games or I'd stop to look at the toys and my mom would continue going. And then I had to go to the front desk and have them call my mom over the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
So
And then they were like, paging mom.
It was back when it was Lena Williams. Lena Williams.
Does anybody want this game?
Lena Williams, your child is at the front desk. Lena Williams.
At this point, we'll take anybody.
Anybody coming to customer service.
You could fuck him if you want.
Whatever you want. He's eating all of our snacks.
He can make you eggs. He could
just
do
shit on the
whatever.
floor.
Whatever you want.
I couldn't make eggs at the time. But I remember on the 3rd time they called my mom after, the 3rd time we getting separated. I got in a lot of trouble that day because I walked up when she finally showed up and I was like, "You suck." And then, apparently it's not cool.
She smacked you in the mouth and just told you
Not
Santa's
cool.
not real.
Don't tell your parents that they suck when you're a child because that usually doesn't end well.
Last podcast, there was a bunch of firsts. The first time we actually had to bleep something out.
Yeah.
Not because we said anything, but because we wanted to keep the privacy of these people.
I almost forgot.
Just out of a respect thing.
Yep.
But the thing about the story we told, let me tell you what a podcast is, okay? It's a form of art.
Right.
It's artistic in
We
what
are
we do
artists.
because it's not that easy. People think it's easy.
No,
And
God,
I'm
no.
like, well, you try and talk with somebody for an hour
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
to go ahead, see what happens. So we jumped the gun a little bit, okay? I read the police report on what happened to our boy,
We got
whose
excited.
name will not be mentioned.
Nope.
And I got a DM because he listened to the show. It was like, hey, the show's really funny.
Loved it.
Only thing did not go down at all how you said. I was
we
like,
may have embellished. This is up to artistic interpretation.
Well, there is to a degree.
Yeah.
But when we're using things like
are you saying
took his back, choked him out,
that's not
didn't happen like that. What happened was when the gentleman came out of the bathroom
Right.
and shot said friend twice in the neck.
in the neck?
Didn't go down, right? Then he took out the knife, attacked him.
Who doesn't go down? Who gets shot twice in the neck and doesn't go down?
My boy, who's a goddamn G.
Who doesn't fall to the ground and go? "Ah!"
I'll tell you who doesn't. Somebody with
Don't-
high level jiu-jitsu
Okay, I was
experience.
gonna say, don't say their name.
No.
I'll tell you who doesn't. I'll tell you their first and
so
last
then
name.
what happened was, I think during the scuffle,
Yep.
the gentleman wound up getting my boy's back.
Okay.
But because of his jiu-jitsu training,
Sure.
he knew exactly what to do.
It was awfully slippery from the
Using technique, pulling the arm over,
To the
and
other
then
side.
jiu-jitsu biting him,
jiu-jitsu bite.
the jiu-jitsu bite.
That's a very high level technique.
That's high level.
The jiu-jitsu bite. Actually, you're not. Most people don't even know about the jiu-jitsu
Once
bite.
he jiu-jitsu bit him in the
Right.
arm hard enough to bite a piece out this motherfucker,
Right.
he was able to flee out the front door.
Which is the technique that they teach you when they finally reveal to you the jiu-jitsu bite. You have to be going for a number of years.
You don't learn about the jiu-jitsu bite until you're a purple belt.
Maybe you hear about it. You might hear about it, whispers, but you don't know if it's real.
So, I mean, anybody could really pull off a rear naked choke in a fight, but to jiu-jitsu bite somebody, not so easy.
That's what they say. They say grab the arm, other side of the head, jiu-jitsu bite.
Bite him like a piece of chicken.
And then jiu-jitsu flee.
And jiu-jitsu flee. So, using that technique, he was able to survive this crazy encounter, you know, I mean, which is absolutely nuts. And, you know, we're like joking around about it. He thought it was funny the way we told it.
Yes.
Honestly, he was like, I wish it would have really happened like that.
And I'm glad we described it that way.
He's like, you described it like an action movie. He's like, it wasn't like that. It was more like, you know, not an action movie.
No, I'm glad that we got to create a scene that lived in our audience's head for a little bit, though.
Yeah,
and it also lived in ours.
Sure did.
Because I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Dude, that's how I had it all going in my mind from like what I read in the police
I told
report.
everybody that. I'm not telling them that that's not the truth.
You're not going to tell them otherwise.
No, they're going to listen to the show if they want to find out.
The jiu-jitsu bite is not as impressive as
bite,
getting
jiu-jitsu
shot,
flee.
stabbed, and then choking the guy out.
But, I mean...
that's the story that'll get you pussy.
That will.
Biting the guy, it'll get you a drink at a bar.
Getting shot in the neck twice, though, that's got to count for... I mean, Jesus Christ.
He did get like 50 Cent, though.
Yeah.
He straight up got shot twice and lived like no problem.
And everything else we said is true. He is a big, strapping, handsome dude, built like a gorilla.
Still, not for nothing. When somebody gets your back, it's really hard to get them off. And him to have the wherewithal, even shot up. And I was like reading the report. Because he did an interview on a podcast, a Jiu-Jitsu Times kind of thing. And his left arm, he couldn't use his left arm. From being shot, his left arm was dead, he said.
Whatever nerve damage he sustained.
So he was able to pull the other guy's hands over his like head while the guy had his back. And that's when he applied the bite.
The Jiu-Jitsu bite.
The Jiu-Jitsu bite.
BJJ bite.
The Jiu-Jitsu bite, yeah.
The BJJB. Yeah,
so, that's just like a little, you know,
addendum
to the story. Didn't go down quite like we said, but close enough to where you could use it.
I mean, yeah, oh, absolutely. You could use it. I mean, that's a life or death situation. And when life or death situations peek their head out, you bite a motherfucker.
In a real world situation, you're gouging eyes and you're biting somebody.
And you're twisting balls, giving the old dick twist. You ever just think about how much jaw strength you have? I mean, you could bite a fucking chunk out of a dude's arm.
I'll bite your fucking face off.
Bite a hole right in your face.
Dude, if I was on like PCP and I went after you and I started biting you,
I'd have such a bad time.
It would be like a chimp attack.
It would be terrible.
Yeah.
You ever think about, we talked about this at work the other day because all these things are happening, right? All these, you know, big events and, you know, the election, the coronavirus, fucking aliens. We'll get into that in a little bit. But we talked about, I almost said Nazis, zombies. They both, you know, those E's words, Nazi zombies, and really how that would play out, zombies, how they would play out. And I think that you would get the best of both worlds when you think about 28 Days Later zombies.
Okay,
who
those
are fast and full of rage.
Yeah, those are running zombies.
Those are not good zombies.
No.
But then after they became malnourished, after their flesh began to
slow
decay,
down a little
then they
bit.
become Dawn of the Dead zombies.
Yeah, they slow down.
But man, we'd have a real fucking hard time if it was 28 Days Later zombies.
You just got to survive the first 2 weeks, and once they start like slowing down, you know, and decaying a little bit.
That's really the main thing. Because
that's the thing. They kind of really don't slow down much.
Right.
Because the thing about 28 Days Later is that they bite fresh people.
That's the problem.
So it's like the old ones die. It's kind of like a rotation of stock with zombies.
Well,
there's always fresh people to bite.
We've talked about really important scenarios like how many children could you kill if you had to, if they were all coming at you.
Sure.
Now, if you had 5, 6-year-olds and they were all 28 days later out, the idea that you wouldn't accidentally get grazed by a tooth.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You could get taken out by 5 of them. 5, 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
Full of rage and full of zombie infective
But if I was
saliva.
if I had like a Carhartt jacket on,
Carhartt jacket would be a good move.
I mean, they're definitely, I'm taking 5 out quick.
Yeah, I think
the first 2 are getting kicked
you can
so
take out
hard
a few
it's
with
going to
one
break
roundhouse.
their neck. Yeah.
Snap their necks.
Yeah.
But then they'd still, you know, they'd probably
Kinda
still, it'd be a little floppy. And all you need really is for there to be a cut and for that saliva to get in it. You know what I mean? That's really the scary thing. So
there's a lot of variables.
There's a whole lot of variables.
Sure.
It's not an easy thing. Where do you think would be the best place to hold up, to wait out that period. Let's say it is 2 weeks, 3 weeks till they start to.
Honestly, any kind of like building like this wouldn't be bad.
That's true.
Because you got the high ground, you only got one access point. Well, you have two. You have an access point at the front,
getting in there.
and you got the back. You got the steel fireproof doors.
Yeah, they're not getting in there.
Honestly, it's going to be hard for them.
You think you probably just stay put?
I would stay put.
Yeah, because there are fun places to go. Like Woodbridge Mall is a fun place to go.
Everybody's going to go to the goddamn mall because of Dawn of the Dead.
That's true.
Everybody's going to go there.
They really made that seem super appealing. I mean, the idea of Dick's Sporting Goods got the rifles. You got the rifles in there.
This is why I want to take kendo, so I could get proficient with the sword.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be dope.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be dope.
You laughed at me when I said I want to go do that.
I don't know. It's just something
like,
about
no, bro.
going to a martial arts gym to learn. Okay, here's where the laughing point is. I want you right now to envision the other people that are taking that class. Look around the room in your mind. Look at all those fat, neck-bearded, greasy morons.
It's not, though. It's a lot of...
it's a lot of anime fans.
It's a lot of Chinamen.
Well, I don't know if we can say that, and that's the second time, and it's going to be the second episode we bleep something out of.
It's a lot of Chinese.
You think so? What?
It is. It was. It was.
Wait,
like,
you went?
Here's the thing about the place is the gym has two giant bay windows out front that you could look inside.
And so you looked inside, and they were all...
And they were like... Yeah, they were doing...
And when you watched it, did you feel like they could have fucked you up?
No.
No?
No way.
You didn't look at those...
Not for nothing, but you have to be a pretty good martial artist to be able to...
Yeah, but once you got a kendo stick...
To put a licking on this boy.
Well, let's say you're a good kendo stick martial artist.
Yeah.
And then you don't got anything else.
You're not going to beat me with the kendo stick.
No? You don't think so?
If it was a sword, yeah.
That's true, because you could take a couple of licks with that and be just fine.
I could take 3-4 shots with a kendo stick.
And
still...
You're closing that distance.
Oh, yeah.
You're wrapping them up.
Oh, for sure.
You don't even got to do anything. They're small. You just pick them up.
Are you talking about the Chinese people?
I'm just saying, man. Genetically speaking, they're not a large people.
They're not a large
They're not a large. That's why I often think about...
It's not like you have like 3 Norwegian guys.
No, that'd be a problem. Big Norwegian boys?
Nordic boys?
Yeah, big Nordic boys, that's a problem.
They're just a big peoples.
Well, that's another thing, too, is the whole zombie, the danger of it is also predicated on where you are as far as countries go. Now, if you're in Kenya...
Yeah.
You got fast zombies.
They're real fast.
You got fast,
but
long dick.
But not for nothing, they're already fairly malnourished.
That's true. But that kind of makes you wonder
if
they've existed that long being malnourished. Their turnaround time might be even longer than the average Americans in terms of how quickly they decay. Maybe their bodies are already built for that shit. Big, fast, long Kenyans sprinting for you.
Big, white, clean teeth.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, they got a good set. They got a good set of
chompers.
They all
have good teeth on them.
Great teeth on them.
Not me.
You know, those things are meant for biting.
You know, I the other day my boss was like, we ended up mentioning how I'm missing a tooth, and he goes, "You're missing a tooth?" I go, "Yeah." And
yep,
he goes,
I see it every Sunday.
It's very upsetting. That's how I
right
keep you to my left. The camera's to my right, and that's strategic.
Yeah.
Show the people the good teeth. Show you the bad one. Right. So he goes.
It's like what you're expecting, what you're getting. That meme.
Exactly. Yeah. Instagram versus reality.
Yeah.
And so my boss goes, "Oh yeah, you are missing a tooth." And he's like, "What's the deal with that?" I'm like, "Oh, well, it's actually still in there. It's not really missing. Half of it's in there." And he goes, "You could die." You know that, right?
Wait, what? Because I got one of those broken off teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't do something about that, you could die, apparently.
No, that's bro science.
That's what I said. I said, you're not a doctor, you piece of shit.
If I had a welding question, I would ask you.
I would ask you. Not a tooth question. Not asking you anything about those. And then he goes, well, there's a central nerve that runs through your jaw. It's the biggest nerve in your body. And also... any tooth infection runs the risk of going straight to your brain, and so you could die from a tooth. And I don't have a tooth infection. All my teeth feel strong, and I don't have any pain. I don't have any throbbing.
Yeah, I mean, you got a set of chompers.
I don't eat a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Did
you ever smoke?
No, I never smoked. No,
I could see you like a smoke guy.
You know what's funny is every time I would put a cigarette
smoking
in my mouth, people would go, "You look really French." And then, lo and behold,
you look like Leon the Professional in a Bruce Lee track.
I don't know who Leon the Professional is, but my ancestry
seen Leon
agrees.
the Professional?
No, what's that?
This is one of those things.
What's Leon the Professional?
Give me that goddamn pen.
Wait, I have to write down UFOs.
No, here. So what we're getting a lot of in the DMs is people being upset that you don't watch any movies. You have
don't.
no clue what
I don't.
anything is.
I don't have
Because and like they're saying like I just want to like guys I'll get a text message. I love the show. It was really good. I just feel like jumping into the fucking like radio and screaming in Dave's face like it's this movie.
I don't know what it is. I just don't have and then I see
there's
them
some
and I
real
don't
movie
like
buffs out there, and it's just everybody hates that you don't know shit about shit.
I mean, I got some classics down. I've seen Titanic. You know what I mean? I've seen Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
I'm talking about Leon the Professional, and
What
you're
is that
coming
from?
at me.
What is Leon the Professional? I'm going to have a Google right now.
It's basically a movie where you know how Hollywood is all
It's
about
called
pedophilia?
Leon the Professional?
Yeah. You know how like Hollywood's all about pedophilia?
Of course.
A young Natalie Portman, about 10 years old, falls in love with this old man who's a professional killer.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, I got it up right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I do look like him.
Yeah, sure do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
and what does he do?
do. He's a professional killer.
And he kills pedophiles?
No. What happens is Natalie Portman
he
winds
kills
up
Natalie
falling.
Portman.
No, she doesn't. Stop finishing my sentences.
Okay, all right.
you
I'm sorry.
fucking jerk.
Go ahead.
Look, Natalie Portman falls in love with him because he more or less like saved her because there was a dirty cop that like killed her family and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not a movie podcast, okay?
Right.
I'm not going to go into the depth of the movie.
I don't like the idea that Natalie
know,
Portman falls in love with him, though.
Oh,
couldn't
well,
they have done without that part?
Well, that's the whole thing of like, of you know Hollywood.
Are you saying I
they
should
love
watch
fucking little kids.
No,
you know?
no, it's true.
Also,
it is true.
my brother was telling me the other day. He's like, "What if?" Because with what that guy said, the UFO guy.
Yeah.
What if what they need, the aliens, are our children?
Oh, dude.
What if they need the adrenalized blood and they need to fuck them? That's what they need from our planet. They were like, "Oh, you guys have the best resource in the galaxy." Those kids.
No.
young tight kids.
I hadn't considered it. But that would be very. Because we're now tiptoeing around this, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. We seem to be in the age of like UFO disclosure, and we've talked about it several times in this podcast.
Oh yeah, they're just dropping it. They're dropping it. I mean, they're pretty open now about all this stuff.
Yeah, because the last thing that happened was when the Pentagon said that they had recovered materials from crashed spacecraft.
Yeah, I think that was like a Speaker of the House or something like that.
Yeah, and that was maybe like a couple of months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, something like that. Yeah. And we joked around.
The Fravor thing came out where
Commander Fravor.
He chased that fucking
the Tic Tac UFO. Yep.
And then they were like, we don't know what it is.
It's
like,
just nothing to say about it.
I don't know what to tell you people. We don't know what that shit is.
Well, we've hit another one. And its former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. And the Trump knows about it part was...
No way. There's no way. He would send a tweet out telling everybody.
Yeah, that is true, right? Don't you think he would have spilled the beans?
Fucking aliens.
I mean, he says everything. He goes off and says whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't tell him something like that.
Maybe it's enough of a secret and there's enough writing on it that we don't understand that even Trump was like, well, fuck, maybe I won't talk about that. Kind of seems like a big deal because they said it had to do with him creating Space Force and that he was ready to make the announcement and that I think it actually said that he was informed by the extraterrestrials themselves that a galactic federation is specifically what they're calling them, has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we'll understand, but we're not quite here. What space and spaceships are. That's an interesting thing to say.
And this is where the podcast officially goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man. That's
I mean, it doesn't
so
seem too
hard. I love the UFO.
Of course,
thing.
yeah.
I believe heavily into
You talked about Phenomenon, the movie Phenomenon last time. That was a great
Did you get
film.
a chance to watch it?
I did. I have watched
Holy
it. Holy
shit! How good is it?
It's fucking amazing.
So good.
It's like you watch a movie like that and you go, what? Like,
even
what do I do
brother,
now?
Even my brother is a pretty intelligent person. He's
Right.
like, if this was like a debate thing, where it's like a college debate thing,
and you brought forth all the
all
evidence
of this
and arguments.
evidence, the government countering with whatever they say, almost if this was a debate set up like to win and lose, would almost lose
hands down,
handedly,
right?
Because there's such an overwhelming, evidence pointing to something than not.
Right. I mean,
Now
it seems like everything they would say, you'd have a counterpoint.
Yeah,
with
but the
actual
only thing
evidence.
is, like, the government ain't stupid though. They throw things out there like also lizard and mole people. Yeah, lizard and mole people.
Well, that's like the
Well,
Pentagon is the ones that said they recovered craft or recovered materials from crashed spacecraft.
Well, you hear in the Phenomenon documentary, what they're doing now is they went away from the idea of like light speed and stuff like that, and like you'd have to travel 25,000 times the speed of light to, it's 25 light years away, which
to be able to
is just
make
impossible.
it to any viable place.
It's hard for physicists to get that. So what they're doing is they're saying now that it's like they're traveling through space and time.
Right.
So now using physics like the Rosenberg Bridge or whatever.
Rosenberg Bridge?
Yeah.
Einstein-Rosenberg Bridge. Yeah, it's a wormhole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're using theory like that.
Yeah.
That's what they're telling
So
these
they're coming in
physicists.
through wormholes.
And physicists are like, well, now you're onto something.
Yeah.
Now we could understand this. We have the idea of this.
Of how it's actually viable.
Of how
it's
it
possible.
could happen.
Well, that's like
but
this
the
dude was
idea
saying.
of 25,000 times the speed of light, or 25 light
in
years,
order to make it
because
to
something
someplace.
to even do light speed, something would have to be immense in size to not destroy something. So they're
Right.
explaining it with like scientific method now, and now the scientific community is like, that makes sense. So instead of traveling far distances, they're traveling through space
they're
and
punching.
time.
It's like the idea of folding space and time and then punching a hole through it and traveling through that hole.
That's exactly
where you
what
bring
they're
2 points together as opposed to
Hey,
traveling the
hey.
distance between them.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Fucking intelligent, all right?
Guys, we know
This
what's
is where
up.
you come to get your information.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Also, Jews run Hollywood.
Of course they do. But this dude's
No,
name is...
no, we take that back.
This guy's name is something Yediot, which is kind of hilarious because it's reminiscent of calling you
Sounds
like, hey,
like
look over there, you idiot.
Look at that, you idiot.
Look over there. Hey, it's right in front of you, you idiot. But he's saying things like, it's funny because you said how the language in academia is changing. And what he said was, because he's also a scientist, and he's like 87 years old, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's like...
See, this is another thing now. Now we're taking the word of an 87-year-old man.
That's true, too.
You know? And now that starts becoming hard to, like, swallow.
Right. At what point, though, because if you follow his logic, he's like, I'm retired. I've already won all of my awards, all of my accolades. I'm already admired by my peers in academia. I've climbed the mountain. The mountain's done. I don't give a shit anymore, and I'm spilling the beans. This is more or less what he's saying.
I like that. I like the idea of that. But now it's once again, now it puts a pinhole in his, the balloon that is
just being
his
old.
word. Yes.
Well, one of the things he said, and I
because
told
imagine
you,
your 86-year-old grandmother. But then again, you got to be like,
some 86-year-olds are kind of sharp.
but then you also have to be like, well, not for nothing. That's an 87-year-old man who like was at the top of his game in his field and everything. He's not just some batshit crazy old grandparent like your grandmother.
He's
sorry.
Bro, what? My grandmother was an astute
liar,
student. Oh,
a
God damn
fucking
it.
dirty, stinking
But this
liar.
guy, he did spend all of his time as the space security chief of Israel. So if there's anybody that's going to know some
he's
shit.
legit. No, I definitely
But
think
one
he's
of the things
legit.
he did say that you were skeptical of, we talked on the phone about it, was that we have a base on Mars. And that it is filled with humans and aliens.
That one, I'm having a hard time.
It feels weird. Well,
That
you know
one
what
feels
feels
a
weird
little
about
weird.
it is that at this very moment,
I mean, we could do something like
Sure.
that. Like you put like a dome, and then you would have to create like
some
you
sort of
could do it.
pressurized thing with an
Yeah.
atmosphere that
I
was,
mean, you'd have to create atmosphere inside of a dome because
Right.
if not, you'd be floating around like they do on the
unless
ship.
they're underground on Mars. But the idea that there are people, other human beings right now that are having this entirely different experience. We're living on Mars and being in contact with other species of beings is just kind of the norm to them. And maybe even that they're peripherally aware or maybe fully aware of Earth and that we're down here chilling, watching Lady Gaga, waiting for the Macy's
Who's
Day
a
Parade.
lizard person?
Who's also a lizard person who drinks
Yep.
the blood of children.
Sure does.
And they're aware of that, and they go, man, imagine like being down there. Imagine being on Earth and like driving around cars and shit. Like I heard they're about to drop the new Bronco. Like it's gonna be so fucking cool. That's amazing. Imagine
and there's
what that would be.
aliens having this discussion.
Aliens having this, and these people
Like,
were
yo,
born
dude,
and
these
bred
Earthlings
and
are
raised.
about to like drop the new Bronco. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
they're about
dope.
to. It shit is tight. Not the sport edition. Not the sport edition. Bougie Works. I'm talking to you. Not that sport edition.
Honestly, though, I mean, if they're aliens,
I thought you were saying,
they'd be
honestly, I'll
talking-
take the sport
They'd
edition.
be talking about like a McLaren or something. They wouldn't
They'd
be
be talking
like-
about something cool.
They wouldn't be talking about a Ford.
Well, you know, because they're not driving around on the surface of Mars. They're not going to Nobu. They're not eating sushi.
true.
They're not.
Neither
you know what
are
I
we.
mean? I've never been to Nobu in my life.
Never.
I walked past PF Chang's the other day, and I went, "That would be nice." Never been to PF Chang's. I told my wife,
you
I
never
said,
been to like?
I said,
oh,
I was like,
no,
baby,
I'm
I
thinking-
love PF Chang's.
I'm
Never
thinking
had
of
it.
Panda Express.
Panda Express? I'm not mad at
Is
Panda Express.
absolutely fucking gross. Everything is sweet. Everything has
Oh
sugar
yeah, everything
in
is
it.
glazed in
It's
it. Yeah.
disgusting. I'm like,
fucking
it
delicious.
feels like I'm eating like
Just candy, meat candy.
meat candy.
Meat
yeah,
candy.
meat and rice candy.
I'm not mad at meat
Leave
candy.
it up to the Chinese.
But-
Nah,
wait
I'm
a
sorry.
second, wait
I'm
a
sorry,
second, man.
guys.
You can't
you
do
know,
that.
You know, I don't
Leave
mean
one up to the Chinese being
industrious, good at math.
honorable folk. I mean, God,
Here we go again.
Jesus, but it is interesting to think that people are out there having that experience and maybe even fantasizing, talking shit about like, imagine how nice it would be to just be on Earth. Going outside, walking through the forest, going on hikes, driving your car, riding a bike, doing nice things.
Doing human shit.
Doing human shit. I mean, isn't that weird to think about?
I'm telling you, I think what's happening is that the government, the aliens
Right.
are in cahoots with the government, and in turn, we give them our children.
That's terrifying.
That's
That's a theory.
our resource.
That's a theory.
They
a very
need-
unsettling one.
They need children.
I don't like it. What are they? That's how they propel their spacecraft.
What
There's
if
only
they-
one way to go through
What
a wormhole in Einstein Rosenberg. It's with the blood of children.
What if they were like, we want you for a high-ranking position in our Mars, but we need that little boy that you have right there.
I'd give him away. No, I
No.
I would not give away my son. Look,
But wait. Then they go, I need you to go ahead and give him, and then they point a laser
oh,
gun.
dude.
Now
I'd be
what
like,
do you do with the? You got a laser gun in your
Now
face.
that the-
what are you gonna use?
Well, I'd have to suicide by alien.
No.
It's like suicide by cop.
Never.
Suicide by alien.
No.
Imagine that.
This is what you do. Ready? Go ahead. Here's the
Okay.
laser gun.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. Okay. This is for people on YouTube.
Give up the kid.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna drink as well.
move
Jiu Jitsu bite.
and jujitsu
Oh
bite.
my God damn it! If there's anything that our boys taught us, it's that
You
jujitsu bite is the
obviously
way to
use the
go.
jujitsu
They're not
bite.
ready for Earthlings that know the jujitsu
Not
bite.
if you know the jujitsu
Our
bite.
boy who escaped that whole predicament
Sure.
would fuck some aliens up.
Oh, he's biting left
He'd
and right.
Fuck
Just
some aliens
bite,
up.
bite, bite,
Wonder
bite,
what
bite,
they
bite.
taste like. Imagine you go.
It probably tastes
and
like
you go,
Panda Express chicken.
Whoa.
They got a little sweet to them, yeah.
That candied meat.
They
That
got
candy
that-
tastes like candied meat.
That sweet meat.
Bro, I don't like that idea. You know what I saw too? It was pretty funny. It was somebody's theory. It was like, what if the reason that there's water on Mars is because we used to live there until we depleted it of its resources and had to escape in a craft, and that craft crash landed on Earth, and that was the asteroid that killed all the dinosaurs. Dun
Whoa.
dun dun.
Now I'm like, holy shit.
That makes my dick hard. I love that
I
idea.
like that
oh,
theory.
God, that's
I
so
wanna,
cool.
I want to live in that world.
That is, I mean, maybe we do, and instead
That's true.
we're doing podcasts and we're jerking off at work, and
Here's the thing though, like, because we have the aliens, right?
Yes.
Now, where does the paranormal fall within that?
Ah, so many questions, my guy. So
It-
many exciting questions.
It's like, now, are the aliens also part of the paranormal? Are they?
even from space? Or are they from alternate dimensions?
Jesus Christ!
Fuck, bro. Everything we're saying is I'm getting a boner, bro.
Well,
I'm pieced up right now. That
I
kind of
was-
shit. I don't have enough blood to run my whole
I was
shit,
gonna burn some sage in here.
Yeah.
Because there
Oh my
was
God.
some weird stuff that happened
Last episode, yeah.
Fortunately, the demons clung to you and left with
Nothing
you.
happens after the episode?
Nope, I was completely fine.
Okay, so my kid had a
Except
little
my
bit of an
asshole's been
experience.
killing me lately.
That's that soul door, bro.
Ah,
Somebody's
God.
intruding. Somebody's been knocking at that
my
soul
butthole.
door. Oh my God, bro. Well, my kid has been having trouble sleeping, and I've been trying to navigate it. I don't really know what to do. I've decided it's gotten so frustrating that I'll
Just gonna beat him.
I'll beat him.
Just
Just beat
gonna-
his fucking ass until he
gonna-
falls asleep.
I'm gonna beat him
Or
to
goes
sleep.
unconscious. It's the same thing. Looks the same in the end. So I put a show on for him, and I'll keep the volume real low, and he gets to watch TV until he falls asleep, which is not ideal for me because I like for him to be asleep by like fucking 8:30. Like that's it. It's a wrap. I gotta fuck his mom. Gotta fuck his mom.
Sure.
Need the kid to go to sleep.
Sure.
All right. So what ended up happening recently was that he goes, he's talking to my wife. I'm at work. I get a text message. She goes, Jack says there's a man that walks through our hallways at night while we're asleep. I go, oh, fucking cool.
It's
now we got
Tyrone.
to get rid of no. It's one of the neighbors found his way in. Now we got to get rid of the kid. Now we got to get rid of the kid.
Y'all N-bombs got some sugar.
Y'all N-words got some sugar. So a couple of days go by, and then he goes, Mom, the man who walks around at night
says I'm coming for Dave.
No, he goes, he told me his name. Now a name for a paranormal entity is a very powerful thing. It's how you control them.
Yeah.
Right? If you know their name,
sure,
you can control them. And so my wife goes, what's his name? He looks at my wife in the eyes and he goes, it's Joe Rogan.
Oh.
The paranormal entity's name is Joe Rogan.
See, now this is where your son is the 87-year-old Israeli Special Forces
he is.
director.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Because now
everybody knows you start off with Alzheimer's and then you end with it.
I feel now Jack could now be discredited with
he's a liar.
The fact that the spirit being of Joe Rogan is walking around in your house.
The apple does not fall far from the tree, and my son's a liar. He's a liar like his old man.
It's a family of liars.
It's a family tradition.
What if it's like you look and like see who lived at the apartment?
Ancestry.
And it's Joe Roganstein.
Now, I think Joe was probably in like a what are those tanks? You know, the tanks that they go in. And
a hyperbolic tank. And then he astral projected into your house.
And entered my...
Because he's your wife.
Yeah, and he's not looking for my... No. Wait. He's entered my wife. He's not looking for my kid. He's looking for me.
Let me ask you something.
He wants you to know we got a podcast and we're killing it.
Sure.
And he wants to give us a little bit of that Rogan cheddar.
Do you think that your wife would leave you for Joe Rogan?
No.
I mean what's one?
I mean, the money is one thing, but he just doesn't look... Yeah, I guess
you guys are interchangeable. Sweaty, short,
That's
bald
not
guys.
true, bro. That's not true. Have you ever seen that scar on the back of his head, by the way? I have. I finally noticed it. Where he got that hair transplant. Looks rough.
Really?
It looks like a toe. It looks like a big toe. But I don't think my wife would leave me for Joe Rogan because I've convinced her that one day I'm going to be filthy rich.
When she's knocking
she's
on
lucky
the
to come along
door
for the
of
ride.
$100 million dick,
Sure.
she gonna take that dick.
God.
She's gonna take
Joe
it.
Rogan.
She's gonna leave you with
Heaving
Jack.
and hoeing
She's gonna leave you with Jack
on my wife.
and she's gonna split for the coast.
No, I don't.
I'll see you in
Can
Texas,
you take
fuckers.
me with you? Can you take me all the time I've invested?
It's like,
Can you take me with you?
Hey, Cindy, I made a thumb drive of all the best clips from DJ VW.
right.
Can you get it from him?
Look, now that you're in close, can you just get in his ear a little bit?
I just said DJ VW.
DJ VW. That's right.
I really just said that.
That's right. That's how it's rolling off the tongue. It's part of the
good.
vernacular now.
It's a household name now.
DJ VW.
You know what it is? It's like,
like
when you first start, you start out with like a lot of your family and friends listening to your show.
Yeah.
And that's where you get a lot of your support.
Yep.
But as it grows, you start going into other people's like lives and they start listening to you who you have no like attachment.
Yes.
And there is some sort of weighted conversation now with other people. How like Rogan was talking about it. Like where it's like, oh, you guys feel like you know Dave, you know?
Yeah.
And like there's like comments people leave and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, you guys are very comfortable with telling Dave to go fuck himself.
Yep, that seems to be a fact.
I was like looking at like, because my brother, he has like the YouTube thing.
Yes.
So you could leave
Fast food
comments.
face-off.
Yeah, you could leave comments in YouTube. I don't even know how to get to them or read them. I swear to God, I don't. So
Maybe it's better off that way. Keep that state of mind so when we get big and everybody tells us we suck dick, you never read that stuff.
And making maymays of us.
Make them.
So there was this like my parents leave comments on YouTube things because my mom left a comment for the fight.
Very straightforward.
Yeah, what'd she say?
I got it right here and I'll pull it up real quick and she really trimmed the fat
Good
off this
fight.
one. I think it was something
Would
that
watch
effect. She
it
said,
again.
Pretty cool fight. Enjoyed watching. Thank you. Thank you very much. I like it. Short and sweet. Trim the fat off that.
Sure.
She's a lady who says what she means and means what she says.
Because my
Pretty cool
dad
fight.
my dad left one for Josh that's almost unreadable.
Oh.
It's like reading hieroglyphic. It's like
What did he try to say? Do you know what he tried to say? Was it some drinks? You think it was some drinks?
oh my God, because
Did old Pops have some drinks?
that's originally what we thought happened. That he was
that he had a little,
was
he was a little
drunk.
sauced up.
Yeah. And
feeling a little bit of pride for his boys.
yeah, and come to find out, it was left at like 12 in the afternoon, and Cheska was like, "You think?" And I was like, "Oh, for sure, he could have been already could have already been
sauce. Oh yeah, there's no
up.
time limit on old man sauce.
Yeah.
Old men get sauce at all hours of the day.
Real quick. Yeah.
Whenever they want, baby. Whenever they want.
I can't find this damn thing because it's like reading hieroglyphics.
Was it recent?
He uses like C and U and like two.
Oh,
you know?
No, he's caught in those MySpace days of internet communication.
Here, I want you to try to read this, okay? Because my brother just recently did the McRib from McDonald's.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and try to read what my father wrote there.
Delicious McRib.
Go ahead.
The Brood Witch. I'm sure they put an addictive chemical in. I'm on death row for being too all. Sums it on my last meal menu. Old man was sauce. Jakey boy. I just had a few drinks, Jakey boy.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, when it's just it's
what
just
the
funny.
fuck was he trying to say? I think he said they put addictive
chemicals
in there.
Yeah.
I think he also said I want it for my last meal when I'm on death row.
He also mentioned the Brood Witch, which is a Aqua Teen Hunger Force inside joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pops is an Aqua Teen fan?
Well, when we were living in squalor, we only had a handful of DVDs. One of which my boy was able to steal seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. It's a good show. I like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
It's a great show.
It's not great, though, when your parents start to dictate their culture.
And comments.
Yeah. And their vernacular on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, I think parents don't realize that other people could leave comments on this.
Yeah.
And that will see their comments and go, what the fuck was that person talking
well,
about?
I noticed that my mom also follows the show and you know, she must be proud. And so she's gone and followed my other shows as well as this one. So Where I Belong got a follow. I said, okay, that's interesting. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I did a show with sweet Nathan Baird from across the pond called Dick Dudes. And if the name doesn't tell you enough about the show, then the content surely will. Mom follows that too. Thanks for the support, Mom, but there's gotta be
Thanks for the support, Mom, but I could have used a bed growing up.
Could have used the bed. We had a futon. I broke the futon. It didn't fold out anymore.
Yeah.
Could have used the bed. Appreciate the support. I'm very sorry for whatever it is you might hear now. Now that you're out in the wilds of the shit that I've done.
I might send.
Yeah. I thought about sending
Dave tucking his wiener between his legs.
Is it fucked up that I thought about sending that to my mom?
With your family dynamic now.
I thought it would be hilarious. You know what's interesting, man, is thinking about doing the shows that I've done and how many episodes of Where I Belong and Dick Dudes and now Dave and Jay versus the World. A podcast is like a fucking blessing in a weird way in that it might be something you don't anticipate. It allows you to really flesh out who you are and who you want to be in a way that other people don't get to.
And you chose this.
This is who I chose. This is who I am inside.
Chose Leon the Professional.
That's right.
Meets Bruce Lee in Game of Death.
That's right. Also, Kill Bill. Shout out Kill Bill. Goddamn good film. All right, now.
Oh, I was gonna say you better have seen fucking Kill Bill.
Oh my God, Kill Bill's amazing.
I even
took a
Game
picture.
Of Death, though,
I took a picture with the samurai sword and sent it to my cousins because, you know, Kill Bill. But what I'm getting at is that your personality is like a muscle in that it can be exercised just like any other muscle.
Yeah.
And the more you work it out, the more you start to create the person that you want to be. And it's not a misrepresentation. It's not a fake thing. It's not a front. It's just honing your character. You know, everybody has character. And if you don't think that that's true, it's because your character is pretty fucking whack. Everybody has character. And podcasting gives you the ability to refine and sharpen that character and really start to, it's like drawing a picture of who you want to be.
I think what makes the show good is that this is really more or less who we are, you know?
Yes, yeah.
The stories that we tell, those are from like real actual life fucking stories, you know? It's kind of got that Joey Diaz like what is it?
Rawness, that realness. Joey Diaz does not give a fuck about the stories he tells.
You say things like unapologetically say things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we joke about like the racist shit. We're not really joking.
No, we're totally joking, bro.
No. But yeah, it's just you got to unapologetically be yourself. And I think people appreciate that. And it's crazy to kind of like look back on this year and like how
This is
much
number
we've done. 25.
25. So we're halfway to 50 now.
25.
Wow. I mean, that's a long time. When did we start this? Back in
Right after
maybe
COVID, we went back to work in COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no,
then
no,
it,
no,
and then
no.
it got shut down. And then
No, we were still doing this while COVID lockdown was happening because we were going over all the mic checks and stuff like that.
But we were
and doing the
working
dry
together,
runs.
and then I got let go. Well, everybody got let go because of the stock market plummeting because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
And our rides in the truck together kind of really made you realize that there's something here.
When we're just laughing together for 7 hours.
just laughing together.
We need to,
And then after it got shut down, we kicked around the ball in some messages, so it couldn't have been too long after that. And if it got shut down, it probably happened in like January, February, March, April, probably March or April.
By the way, the other podcast, you were like, yeah, this is we're at episode 24.
I know my math. I thought about it right after I left.
And then Cheska was like, that would be 48 episodes.
Yes,
you
it would,
dumb shit,
Cheska.
not
Thank you.
53.
All right. My brain doesn't work so sharp when I'm on the spot. After I drove away,
52.
I went, God damn it, it's 26. 26 episodes makes 52, you goddamn moron.
So we're almost halfway. Or according to Dave's math, we're 2 over already at this point.
Well, we missed one episode. So all in all, we've been doing this for 25 weeks.
And it's going good.
Yeah.
I want to just let everybody know we appreciate like everything you guys done and how much you supported the show. And also, I just want to let everybody know, don't forget to stay involved in that giveaway that we're doing. It's the more people you tag and repost, the more chances you have of winning. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it old school and put like names in a hat. And let's say you enter 3 times, you're going to have your name in there 3 times as opposed to somebody who's only got, 1 time.
I think that's a great idea.
But yeah, it's going to be good, man. So let's I'd like to keep the buzz going.
What were the parameters again? What are the things that they have to meet in order
you got to follow all 3 platforms. So YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and the Instagram.
Yep.
You got to tag 3 people in the money giveaway comment.
3 of your homies.
And you have to
Was it the rating? I think it was a rating.
No, it was like a repost. You have to repost the giveaway to try to get other people involved. And we had this one girl who's she's a stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a couple stand-ups that follow us.
Okay.
The one guy, Isaiah.
Oh, Isaiah Cast, yeah.
Yeah, Isaiah Cast follows. And then this one girl, I think her name is like Lexi, something like that. But I was checking out her stand-up. She was actually really funny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's real funny.
I'm telling you, man.
Because I just got done watching that the stand-up documentary.
The Comedy Store documentary. What was that on?
It was on Showtime. If you subscribe now for Showtime, you get it for a month for 99 cents.
That's what I'm doing when I go home.
So I watched that. And here, let me just let you know how this goes. When you go and look on it, go all the way down to the first one. Because the way Showtime has it set up is like, you click on it, it brings you to that, and then you're like, okay, so I'm going to move down, and this is going to be the first episode. Nope.
It just starts with the most recent?
No. Yes. So it's episode 5, which is the last episode.
Oh, no.
Because,
how far did you get into it before you realized?
All the way at the end. I was like, boy, they're really going hard
just
with
jumped over a bunch of shit.
I was like, boy, they're going hard with the black and white photos and the sentiment at the end of the first episode.
Oh my God.
It's like, there's a Lumineer song playing and it's
God.
like la da da la da 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 da, and it's showing like Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, like,
oh no, you fucking watched the last episode first.
Yeah, and I was like, boy, if this is the first episode, I thought I was like, man,
they're really
the
gonna
heat
fucking do
is going to come to that fifth one.
The pressure's on, baby.
Yeah, so
all in all, how do you think it was?
It gave me a new perspective on stand-ups.
Okay.
It's something like I can never see myself doing.
You can never see yourself attempting stand-up or becoming successful at it?
Just attempting it. I don't think it's for me.
Okay.
I don't understand. Like they have an act, right?
Yeah.
So your act is the jokes that you tell.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is like repeated out through the years, you know?
Yeah,
and
you're
sometimes
doing the same
people sprinkle in some of the old stuff when they're doing some of these routines because some people like they had the one guy on there, he's like, I got a company bit, and I don't want to give away his bit, but it's really funny. He goes, I started ciphering it out of my act. And then
Okay.
he goes, and then I realized I shouldn't do that because there's some people who just started listening to me that are like, I hope he
Yeah.
does the company bit.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of the same and stuff. And I don't know.
That is
I'm
kinda
more
weird.
of like I need a fresh kind
Yeah.
of thing happening. You know?
Well, imagine we did the show, and every time we did the show, it was like we literally were doing the same show.
exact show.
And we did the show 26 times or 25 times,
Yeah.
whatever.
See, that's why I like this, because every Sunday it's like new and fresh and funny, and we get
Yeah.
to talk about whatever that's
Well-
current and stuff like that. And then they were making the joke on like how like all these comedians have podcasts now and shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ugh, all these people got fucking podcasts. I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah,
for
don't
a
listen to
second,
that shit. Don't
for
listen
a
to that
second,
shit.
I thought like we were special with what we were
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
And
now
then-
it feels like we're just
and I'm like,
treading water.
Oh my god, I'm just a fucking
An
I'm
idiot
a grain
treading
of
water with a bunch of other people.
Exactly. I'm a grain of sand
Yes,
on a
yeah.
beach, that is the podcast world.
Well-
but to do a good podcast though.
Oh yeah, that's a different story. I mean, I feel like I want to do stand up because it's something that I said that I want to do, and I hate saying that I'm going to do something and not doing it.
Sure.
And the podcast is great for it because I find myself kicking around the idea of using material for bits from things that we said here.
Yeah.
Like one of the episodes, I think it was the last episode, I said about my wife that every massage that I give her is actually sex disguised as a massage.
Sure.
And so I started tweaking. I don't really care to give it out because who gives a shit? It's going to be an open mic bit. But I started working it out and trying to stretch it out and see what I can get from it. And I started to come up with the idea of like, yeah, it is sex disguised as a massage, but it's not a good disguise at all. It's like a dude with glasses and a rubber nose. Like you know who the fuck this is.
You know what it is? It's just like I said, with doing the same material. I have a newfound respect for comedians and stuff and what they do. One time, this is most like, dude, I've done a lot of things. Okay, a lot of things I'm not proud of. When I was younger, I fucked the couch.
Right.
I used to fuck the couch.
Right. There's no shortage of demoralizing things.
Sure, I got a hand job by the fat girl who lived down the street.
Okay. They're supposed to be really good at it though. That's just what I hear.
Oh, she had like warts on her fingers. It was gross.
Shit. Oh,
But
damn,
anyway,
dude.
it was real.
Just pulling on that flaccid pee-pee.
I've done some terrible things. I've shot people with airsoft guns that were waiting for a bus. So, but the worst thing that I feel that I've done, I heckled a comedian one time a little bit.
You didn't.
I was so
God.
fucking drunk, and it was so embarrassing that out of all the stuff I just told you, fucking the couch,
That was
fat
the
job,
most
hand
embarrassing?
job, fat girl hand job, this hands down is the most embarrassing.
Can you please walk me? Wait. Where did you go?
It was at the ZPA, like the Polish ZPA in Perth Amboy.
And
or
did you
something.
know you were going to see stand up?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
With some friends?
It was with my sister, her friend, and it was Stephanie. She was there.
Okay. And now this person, was it the first stand up comedian? Did you watch a couple?
I watched like one before him.
Okay. And then, so you were drunk showing up or you got drunk there?
Oh no, I was drunk showing
You
up.
were drunk showing
And
up.
the
Imagine
bar
you probably
was
had
next
some
door.
more.
I would have rushed the stage.
Right.
And then took the mic and be like, so, anybody ever been in a fucking airplane?
How about so
What
now,
is the deal with McDonald's?
Now, what do you remember? What they said that prompted you to, or do you even remember what it was you
He
said?
started doing crowd work.
Okay.
And he was like, he goes up on stage like, is there any of my Jewish friends, any of my Jewish brothers
which you
and
said
sisters?
yes.
And I was like, Shalom,
Fuck yeah.
And I yelled, and I'm not even Jewish.
No, very aware of that. Not Jewish at all.
I'm not Jewish at all.
Sure.
And then he's like,
But you just wanted to be included on the
I
action.
wanted to be a part of it.
People
yeah.
want to be a part of the
and
show.
I'm such a fucking jerk.
What did he say? What did he say when you said?
And then he was like, "Oh, one." He kind of went with it, and it was
Yeah.
funny because
Yeah.
everybody was Hispanic.
Okay.
And one guy screams out "Shalom." You know.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked. And then,
Oh, that's
and then,
all?
Well, no. There's more.
Okay, all right,
so
all
then,
right.
So then he's like, he starts doing a little bit more crowd work,
Yeah.
like. What's going on with dogs? Like something about dogs and
Going on with dogs?
and like pit bulls or something,
Right.
And I was like, yeah, and I yelled again because I didn't even have a dog at this time.
You're not Jewish. You don't have a fucking dog.
I'm
You don't
not-
know what's going on with
I'm
pit
not
bulls.
Jewish. I'm not a pet owner.
Nope.
I am nothing that this guy is looking for.
Just shit-faced.
I'm just a drunk piece of shit.
There for
screaming.
a good time with your family and friends.
So then he's like, because I've already established that I said that I was Jewish.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm a pet owner.
Yep.
And he goes, what kind of dogs you got? I got 2 pit bulls. I didn't have any dogs. Okay. I didn't have any dogs at the time.
The weirdest heckle in the world.
Then he's like, what's their names? I go, Muhammad and Ali. And then he goes, get the fuck out of here, you liar.
That's where you lost him? Not the fact that you don't look like a Jew at all?
It gets worse.
Okay.
Now, after he leaves the stage, I go up to him to apologize for this.
God.
And then I start telling him, I'm sorry, man. I got this like funny thing. Like I was thinking about like how hot McDonald's coffee is.
No.
Like, you know, when they released the Terminator in that vat of liquid metal.
My God.
I mean, what do they do? Pull up things of McDonald's coffee right
Holy
after
shit, bro.
So,
this guy's just, you got him cornered and shit. You're all sauced with blood on your knuckles and everything from beating up your friends in the backyard.
I clearly smell like I live in a musty warehouse.
Holy. This guy knows exactly where you live.
It's the most
You live
embarrassing.
in the old Sleepy's factory. You know what, though?
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done.
It doesn't sound that bad. I mean, it sounds like he was fishing for...
No, because the table's like looking at me like...
what did Steph say?
She was embarrassed.
She was embarrassed?
Yeah.
And who else did you go with?
And she's seen me peeing in public and getting a ticket.
But that was what really did it.
Yeah. She's a dude. She's seen me at my worst. Remember the hamburger that I couldn't eat because I was all coked up?
Yep.
That wasn't even... That was nothing.
Nothing
compared
dries a pussy
to
up
the
like a bad heckle.
Dude, I was like... This is it. This is the most embarrassing. I was like looking back the other day and I was like, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done.
Imagine that guy having to navigate you though. God.
Dude.
That has been a nightmare. He's trying to get up there and do a set.
Then I'm going up to him telling him about like a hot coffee McDonald's
as if it wasn't bad enough that you fucked up his set, which I don't know if you did though. Objectively, he was asking for Jews, he was asking for pet owners, and he wanted to know the names of your dog.
But the thing is, I give him the dog name of a fucking like Muslim, and I'm supposed to be Jewish.
Okay. Oh, that's the...
That was where
I
he
didn't
was
see
like,
the hole in it. I was like, that's pretty cool. Muhammad and Ali. That's fucking dope.
That's when he was like, get the fuck out of here.
I like the idea of 2 dogs named Muhammad and Ali. I'll tell you, as far as pulling shit out of the hat, it's not the worst thing.
You're making me feel better.
I don't think it's... I mean,
But the McDonald's coffee...
This is one of those things where we're embellishing and we're creating a much better story than what actually happened. None of the words from Jay were understandable. He was, so, sir, you're Jewish? You're a pet owner? Fuck yeah.
2 pebbles. Dude. Yeah, it probably sounded something a little closer
to that, yeah.
It wasn't as eloquent as I put it.
Right, you took the artistic leeway.
It was definitely a lot more like slur.
It
sounded like
asking, can you stop?
Yeah, I sound like I got too much spit in my mouth.
That's the worst when you're doing something and your girl has to interject with a whisper asking you to stop. Can you please
speaking
stop?
while I was going down memory lane of embarrassing things I did when I was drunk, I felt, I was thinking about this one the other day too. I one time punched a guy in the stomach who was supposed to be like my friend at the time.
Wow.
Dude, I hit him so hard.
Why?
Did not remember that I did that because Stephanie in the morning was like, "Did you remember what you did?" And I was like so drunk. I was like, "Dude, we should fight each other."
You beat the shit out of Jeff.
And I think his name was like Brad or something like that.
And then
he was like, "No, I'm good on that." And then
I'm all right, bro.
And I was like, "No, come on, I'll make you feel better." And then
was he not feeling good?
I must.
Was he going through some shit? And you're like, "Yo, let me beat your ass, bro."
Yeah,
that'll really liven you up.
His dad had cancer.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Ball cancer, unbelievable, Jay. Jesus Christ!
I can't make this
How
up.
old were you?
28.
Dude, that's too old.
No.
That's too old, bro.
I was probably like really. I was probably like 21, 22, something around there.
That's still a hard sell. That's still too old, dude.
So what happened was I was telling him like, I know you're in a lot of pain. We should fight. It'll make me feel better. Yeah. So what I did was I grabbed the back of his shirt and I must have like. Wow! Punched him in the stomach like that, and he wasn't ready for it, and he went down real bad. And he was like,
and all he could think about was I'm finally gonna join my father in the afterlife.
I was like, so what happened? What the story that I was told was He then went after me, and then like the girl that was there with Stephanie grabbed him, and he's kind of like, if you hold a cat by like the ribs, and you pick it up off the ground, and it's trying to get away or something. That's kind of like what he looked like.
And she's going, Jeff, this isn't what your father would have wanted.
Yeah, she's like, Brad, don't do this.
And she's holding him up in the air, and then you go,
and then I was like, supposedly, Steph was like, you were very calm, just saying, just let him go. Just let him go. It's okay.
Jesus
so
Christ.
I was thinking about that, and I was just like, boy, that's another one where I was like, that and the heckling probably was some of the worst.
I think I've told you my story about the dude who he like fucked up my friend's house. He went over there when he wasn't home for whatever reason. My buddy's mom let him in, which is a weird thing to do. But he goes in and then he makes himself at home and then he eats all the snacks. Ate all the snacks, left a big mess. That was enough for me to hear, for me to go, when he shows up, I'm gonna fuck him up.
For eating snacks?
For eating snacks and leaving a mess?
That's
I'm gonna fuck him up.
I think that's a bit
it's a bit excessive. Now you have no
at the same time
no room to talk.
I did punch somebody who was in mourning over their father having lung cancer.
Yeah, so
maybe,
hit your brakes a little bit there.
You know what?
Because you have no room to talk.
You know what? I'm sorry.
So
sorry.
So of course, when I say I'm gonna fuck him up, my friends say, you won't. Now, to a young man, those are magic words. That's abracadabra.
Sure.
That's magic shit. When you tell a young man, you won't do it, that young man's gonna do it.
Now,
if he's worth his salt at all,
if he's a frog,
he's gonna do it.
He's gonna jump.
He's getting
That's
gully.
it. He's going.
If the boy's gully, he's leaping.
Yeah.
So old boy shows up. And there's a plan, by the way. He shows up with his friend. I go to my cousin. I say, you fuck his friend up. I'll fuck him up.
You fuck his friend, and I'll
fuck his friend,
him.
I'll fuck him, and we'll fuck each other.
Hey, I'll show him. Show him right.
Well, I don't know what they thought was going to happen. I knew what I thought was going to happen, which I was going to beat this guy's ass.
Sure.
So he shows up, and like a true scumbag, we have a small conversation. Hey, man, what's good? How you doing?
Yeah.
Long time no see. Then all of a sudden, the vibe gets weird because everybody's waiting on me to do it. And he's kind of looking around, and I just decide this is the moment. And I cock back and yagoosh, crack him right in the side of the fucking face. He falls down. I get hit with the bloodlust.
You sneak him just like the Japanese in Pearl Harbor.
We have a soft spot. There's a thing with us and Asians. We really probably should do a group therapy session.
I sure do like Japanese.
Somebody with weird eyes hurt us when we were young. Now, so I crack him. He goes down. Now I'm filled with bloodlust and rage, very much like when I hit Alex.
Sure, yeah.
And I then clasp my hands together as he's in the fetal position on the ground, and I slam them down. I hit the soft spot between his hip and his ribs, and it sinks very deeply.
Rib meat, yeah.
And I'm suddenly snapped out of it. I realize what I've done. I'm like, oh shit, that was real deep. This guy's hurt. He went to the hospital for internal bleeding. You know what didn't happen? My cousin didn't fuck his friend up.
God, do you know how funny that would be if you got life in prison for that?
Well,
holy shit,
he dropped the charges.
Funny.
The state of New Jersey picked up the charges.
Of course they do.
They
don't fuck around.
But my cousin, who was supposed to fuck up his boy, he just stood there like a deer in headlights, staring at me like he really didn't think this was going to happen. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought we were all on the same page. You said I won't. I said I will. And you agreed that you will.
And you didn't even get involved.
And he just stood there, and his boy stood there too, and nobody knew why I did it. And I remember being a scumbag.
Sure.
He goes, he finally gets up after a long while, and he goes, why, dude? Why? Why did you do that?
We were friends.
I just didn't tell him. I didn't tell him. You know why? Because looking a man in the eyes after you've mortally wounded him and going, you ate all the fucking snacks and you didn't even clean up.
Yes, scumbag.
That just doesn't feel like it holds any water.
I felt bad another time. Another one where I was like feeling, while we're on the subject of feeling bad about things that we did when we were drunk. This one kid, you know, he's like a mall metal kid. He brings these two girls to a house party.
Mall metal kid,
all right?
Yeah.
And we used to like have things back then where like if you don't bring anything, you don't come in the fucking house.
Wow.
You know?
Nobody's there just having a party, having a good time for free?
You gotta bring something. Either drugs for me to do later on.
Sure.
Or drugs for me to do then.
Or face to hit. You better let me hit you.
Something.
If you need consoling, you better let me console you.
So this kid, right? He comes, nicely enough.
Yeah.
He brings the two girls, okay? Yeah. He's kind of like a mall metal kid. He's got some dirty jeans on, a corn shirt or some shit like that. He's got like 12-pack, right? So he comes in, the two girls come in, I open the door, right? The two girls come in, and then I grab the 12-pack, I pull it out of his hand, and he's like, hey. So then I close the door. He knocks on the door.
Yeah.
I grab a can of hairspray and a lighter. I open the door and he's like, you know, kind of, what's going on?
Why did you do
and
that?
I take that and I blow fireballs right in his face.
Oh my God.
And just like that, he died a year later.
Wait. Oh.
This was episode 25 of DJVW. I'm Jay. He's Bruce Lee, possibly Dave.
It's true.
And we're out.
My God. God damn, dude. Why the fuck?
Dave and Jay versus the world.